People are actually shocked when I break down exactly what I do in my business. That pretty much brings me over multi six figures a year. And you might be watching this thing to yourself, okay, cool, this person is probably like super smart, he probably knows a bunch of stuff. But in reality, I'm really not. You're probably trying to sniff out and trying to figure out what have I actually done to get to this point. But what if I told you, when you really boil it down, all I'm basically doing is posting videos for people and making a lot of money. Because back then, before I knew this, I was, broke, doing surveys online for making like $2, doing logos for people, just doing a bunch of freelance work. But then when I realized that I can actually transition into something like this, it just became a lot easier, and I just, as a result, made a lot more money. So what I'm about to do is pretty much just break down everything of how I make over like 91k in the last like 4 months, literally just posting IG reels for people and making stories. Because when you boil it down, that's really all it is. So this video is just going to be a whole comprehensive guide so that you can see the journey of how I went from like, complete zero to actually making this amount of money, so that you can actually just copy this for yourself. And the only thing I ask you to do is, if you enjoy this video and if you see a lot of value, just drop a like, helps it push out to other people that might be trying to like get to this position, and you never know, could help someone else and get them to where they want to be. And I hope it helps you too. So to show you that this stuff actually works and this stuff is actually real, here's the actual Stripe account. If I refresh, it's probably just gonna like restart again, so I have to just change the parameters or whatnot. Yeah, I don't know why it's so slow, but yeah, okay, so April to 11th, just gonna go back here. Damn, my Wi-Fi, it's really bad today. Okay, there you go, same numbers. So I'm gonna go back here and actually break down pretty much like everything I'm doing, so that you guys can literally just like copy it. So what am I actually doing? And when you convert these numbers, it brings you to about 91k. So what am I actually doing? So as you can see, all these people here are actually people that I've worked with. Obviously myself is there, so obviously I work with myself anyways, but these are people that I've actually worked with. And what you can see here is videos that we've actually created for them based on the stuff that they're selling. Okay, so a lot of these people that we're working for, they actually sell something called high ticket products. What is that? That is basically stuff that is super expensive, stuff that costs like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, whatever. They're selling those things, and they're basically selling information. So how do I work with them, and how do I get these people results so that they can pay me a lot of money to literally just edit and post the videos and bring them revenue as well too? So how does that stuff all work? First thing I do is, obviously they need to be selling something, and essentially what you want to do is you want to find someone that basically has an offer, something that they're selling. And this thing could be anything. It could be a program, it could be a course, it could be a community. It doesn't really matter. Preferably they should have a lot of followers, because it just makes everything a lot easier. When I say a lot, 10,000, 20, 30, 40, whatever amount, it's preferred that they have that. And it's also preferred that they're actually really good at what they do. What do I mean by this? They actually have a skill that can actually make a lot of people a lot of money, or a skill that can benefit a lot of people's lives, or a skill that can help them do something that they couldn't have done before without learning the skill. So it doesn't always have to be like ROI. It can be anything from like relationships, it could be dating advice, it could be trading advice, it could be financial advice, it could be life advice, it could be mindset. It has to be just anything that can help someone get from point A to point B. Basically, you're trying to sell a transformation. Okay, that's what people like to buy a lot. So what we basically do for these people is we create content around the offer to generate a bunch of engaged and high intent leads. So what is the difference between an engaged and a high intent lead? So an engaged lead is anyone that is basically seeing content. So anyone that sees your reels and they just like your stuff. They like your stuff. Maybe they follow you. Maybe they drop a little comment or whatnot. Like, these are people that are just kind of like engaging with the things. And these are good because engaged leads are people that are already aware of your existence. So what you can do is you can have systems to convert these leads into actual money. And I'm going to show you how that stuff works. It's not too difficult. This is basically what we're doing for people, and it prints them a ton and a ton of money. So if you can add this to whatever you're selling or to your offers, you can actually make a lot of money as well too. So how does it all work? So we basically make content that is educational, gives a lot of value, and gets people to take an action. So that action could be make a comment, for example, which it was for one of our clients over here. So if I zoom out and go over here, the comment, we told people to comment on this video. So it was like, hey, there's this website that you can use, comment if you want us to send it to you. And as you can see, a lot of people commented. There's actually a lot more, but like his Instagram is restricted, so we can't even find it anymore. But anyways, we told people to comment, and people were commenting their stuff, and like, They were saying, hey, I'm interested, blah, 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 blah. And then once they comment, we had conversations with them. So we placed someone called an appointment setter. And these are normal people that basically just reach out to people in the actual DMs that are engaged leads. Okay, so all the people that are commenting, they're not necessarily engaged leads because they're still engaging, but I like to call them high intent leads. So high intent leads are basically people that are showing a lot of intent in whatever this person is selling. So for example, if I go back over here, as you can see in his bio, he says, DM me the word sales to get started. So what this means is anyone that DMs him the word sales is obviously interested in high ticket remote sales, because that's what the bio tells them to do. So the content and all the stuff that we're pushing out, making his ads, his YouTube videos, they're all funneling people to DM in a keyword. And as you can see, this person over here DM'd him the keyword closer and responded to an ad that we also made for this client as well too. So if you want to know how we actually do these ads, how we make these content stuff, there's just so much depth that goes into it. So I'm not gonna like bore you with all the stuff, but I do have a mentorship that kind of like breaks down exactly how I do these things and how we actually like, you know, make content that converts people, that actually makes a lot of clients, and in turn makes you a lot of money as well too. I'll probably give you more details about that later on, but I'm just throwing that out there because it does exist. So, because I've been getting a lot of people ask me about that. So basically, they DM him the keyword, and then the seller replies almost immediately to basically just try to like see if they're qualified, so see if they can afford it. And then from here, we have a DM conversation and try to see what made them interested into actually booking into having interest. So we realized that, hey, this person has a pain and we can actually get to where they want to be. So remember how I said that you want to be working with people that sell transformations, basically helping people go from point A, which is, hey, I'm struggling, I'm stuck here, and I want to get to point B, which is where I'm not struggling, have less pain, and I have less worries. And that could be anything. It could be more time, it could be more freedom, it could be a better relationship, it could be more money. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so once you're over there, what we do from now is, if they're selling high ticket programs, so which is usually what most of our clients are selling, that can be anything from like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. You want to have a conversation with them. So what we do is we funnel people into a Zoom call to basically just show them the product and get them to buy. So obviously this is me with Mark Zuckerberg. I'm joking, he was never on a Zoom call, obviously. But basically we get on calls just like this, and we basically just break down the offer and everything we're doing. So we don't do this ourselves, the clients do it. And sometimes we get people to do it for the clients as well too, because most of the time the clients know what they're selling the best. And they basically have a conversation. It's a normal chilled out conversation. Usually takes about like 30 to 40 minutes, shows them the whole program, shows them what they do. And if they're interested, they're going to buy on the call as well. So these people are going to wire these clients, well, not wire, but like they're going to pay them anywhere from like 2K to whatever they're selling. Their ticket price could be 10K, and people will pay that on the call if they see the value in it. It's kind of like if you're trying to buy a car, for example. You're not just gonna like check it out on the website. Sometimes you go to the place, you check out the car, you see if you like it, and if you like it, you'll have a conversation. The car salesman is gonna try to ease you in, and then you're gonna end up buying. That's basically what we're doing, but it's online. So that's the whole funnel, honestly. And the reason why I say it's not too difficult is because it's very Impa based. It's almost like a game. So what do I mean by this? Basically, what you put in is what you're going to get out. So if you're making good content and if you're making good stuff that's getting a bunch of leads, you are also going to get that's a bunch of people that are coming through the content and having interest in you. So it now becomes a game of like, how can you make content that actually brings a lot of people in and be interested? And also, how can you convert that leads into actual book calls? Because the main thing you're trying to get here is how many calls that are qualified can I get to this coach so that they have a more likelihood of closing those calls, aka getting them to pay them money on the call and actually making a lot of money back, and you guys can do whatever splits that you want to do from there. So the way that you do this to make it consistent is you do the following. So as you can see, this is the Instagram reel thing, just made my lovely little drawing. So engages from content and ads. So what I mean by engages, guys, engage leads, people liking, people following, people, commenting, people liking your stories, whatever. These are engaged leads. They know about you and they like your stuff and they want to learn more about what you do. Okay, so what we like to do is we like to make it Impa based. And what I mean by Impa based is you put something in, you get something out. So the input in this situation is having conversations with people, and the only way to have conversations with people is by messaging people. So what we do is we have an appointment setter that we place it to the companies that basically does the messaging for them. So if we make a video and it gets about 100 likes, for example, and 60 people we haven't reached out to, the new people, the appointment setter is going to reach out to all of those 60 people and basically try to have conversations with them. So as you can see, the KPI is going to be like 60. And if you don't know what KPI means, it basically means key performance indicator. What that means is to hit what we want to do, the key performance indicator is to do 60 outreaches. Okay, so if we do 60 outreaches to people who are liking, commenting, and following, this is not cold outreach, by the way, guys. This is warm outreach, because these people already know him, so they're going to be way more likely to reply and way more likely to have a conversation. So if we do that, most of the time you're going to get around a 50% reply rate. Most of the time 50% of people are going to reply to your 60 messages. Okay, and then from that, you're actually going to get around 30 conversations. So 30 live conversations that you're going to be having with people that are going to be interested in whatever you're selling. Okay, so from that 30 live conversations, most of the time you're going to end up booking around 10 to 15% of those people on a call. So basically you're going to be averaging around like it's like 5 calls a day, somewhere around that, if you use the strategy correctly. And all this relies on is making content that reaches new people. So if you can get really good at making content that reaches new people and gets views like this, and you don't even have to be the best at doing this, because you can even just run ads and just run targeted traffic to those things, you're going to be able to have a lot of money and basically qualify a lot of people to book in calls. So what you want to do is you want to have a framework that basically qualifies people to book in calls. I made tons of videos on like frameworks and like systems that you can use to like get qualified calls. So if you want to just copy those, you can. But essentially what you're doing in the DMs is you're just trying to figure out is, number one, are they qualified? Can we actually help them? And do they have a problem that we can solve? And then once you figure that out, you can actually just have them on a call. And I've put like the rates that you can actually get from there as well too. So that's pretty much it, honestly. And that's how we've been making a lot of our book calls super consistent. So let me just pause here and show you guys one thing. As you can see for this client, 100 outbound sent, 74 conversations, 10 calls booked. Same thing here, 100 conversations sent, 15 to 30 calls booked. Another one here, 80 conversations, wasn't as much, 8 calls booked. Same thing as well too. 90 conversations, 8 calls booked. So you see how super consistent it gets, because it becomes a game. It's just kind of like, how can you make your inputs consistent? Because if your inputs are consistent, your outputs are also going to be very consistent as well too. So that's basically what we're doing. So we're generating tons of calls for these people, and now that they have tons of calls, all they just basically have to do is just make sure that they can close these calls and actually get results from it. So what we just ensure that we do is we have systems to just make everything easy. So what we know is if people watch a lot of content around someone, it's going to be more likely for them to actually buy and actually convert. So what we do is we also help them create content that is also in a longer format that converts people to actually make a purchase. And if they don't make the purchase on the call, we have different systems as well too that actually convert people as well. So I'm not going to go into too much depth about this, but this is how I use the stories to actually make a lot of money as well too, because you can do crazy stuff with stories as well and make a lot of money. So I've broken it down into 3 sequences, and I actually have something like super more in depth in my program as well that I kind of like break down people. So if I go into here, for example, this is just kind of like appointments at the university, breaks everything down. If I go into lead machine, for example, you would see, if I go down here, damn, my laptop is not moving fast today. I don't know why, honestly. But if I go down here and if I go into, where is it? Story sequences, there's literally a whole training on how to use story sequences and how to actually get really good results with it. But I don't want to like bore you guys with it, but I'm just going to kind of give you a sneak peek of what that is. Basically what we do here is, now that people are coming into our ecosystem, we're making content that's getting new eyeballs, that's getting new traction, that's making people actually like convert. We now have story sequences that are basically designed to just get people to take action. Like for example, if you look at this is one for one of our clients that has an offer helping Muslims start businesses. As you can see, he made a really good story sequence. I'm not going to break everything down in depth, but as you can see, it's a story sequence that calls out the ICP that we want to work with, ICP being the ideal client profile, and then basically kind of gives a story. That's why I called it a low sequence, to basically get people to convert. And then at the end of it, we give them, hey, DM me serious if you're actually interested in something like this. And the result of this, almost like 10k closed yesterday and 3k closed the other day. I think this offer is about at like 60k cash collected, which is crazy, just from making good stories and making content, like nothing else. And then this is the stuff that I do. I don't even get a lot of story reviews, but I can still convert people to actual sales. So I broke down, hey, the price of my mentorship is actually going up because I'm doing these things. This person joined at 2k a month and now he made 7k a month and did 19 revenue. This month he actually did 20k in cash, which is crazy as well too. And I told people that, hey, people that don't do this is they don't take no action. And I told them like, hey, DM me if you want to get in, it's going to increase in price. And I got people to actually take action. So I literally got someone DM me from this actual thing and he was like, how much? And then this person actually ended up paying me like a lot of money, like overall, like his whole thing. He's still in the program as well too, you know, just continuously paying, which is crazy, just from one story post. So literally something like an image that I made brought me over like £1,000, which is close to like 1,500 or something like that, which is crazy. So I always recommend that people, you know, understand how to use stories and understand how to tell stories. And I've actually given a template that you guys can actually copy as well. So you can literally just screenshot this and use this in your marketing campaigns or in your systems to just basically convert people. So I know for a fact, if you use this for yourself and also for your clients' businesses as well, you're actually going to end up making a ton of money. So if you want to actually just copy this, I'm going to move myself away so you can just screenshot this and use this for whatever like campaigns or any clients that you're working with. But it works extremely well, okay? And I'd love to go into too much depth, but I don't want to like keep you guys on for this like long video. But essentially, all I'm basically doing is I'm working with people that have high ticket offers, and I'm basically helping them make content so that they can reach people that they want to serve. And then I'm having systems in the back end, aka just having conversations with people to basically get them on calls with the client so that they can close them and make a lot of money. That's basically all I'm doing. And if you can do this correctly, you can get people to pay you thousands and thousands of dollars. You can alleviate a lot of headache from people and actually get to live a lifestyle that you want to live by just doing simple stuff for people. So that's pretty much it. That's how I've been able to do this with less than 1,000 followers, people watching me, and also like, I don't know, 800 YouTube subscribers or something like that. So yeah, if I can do it, you can do it as well too. And if you want my guidance and if you want me to just kind of like handhold you through this whole process so you can actually get there a lot faster, I have the hybrid consultant program that pretty much just like teaches all this type of stuff to people. Mentorship, where you have a one-on-one access to me, you can book in calls and just have any sort of questions to see how I can help you get to where you want to be. And that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.